Hello, my amazing Algebra Half students. This is Mrs. A, and I love math. And today we're doing lesson 130 in our Saxon Blue Book in edition 2, and lesson 119 in edition 3. And we're talking about metric volume today. Now, my granddaughter, who is the one I started making these videos for, is using her COVID-19 stay-at-home time to really get ahead in her math book. So she is really jumping me through my paces here. I'm trying to keep up with a very fast, motivated granddaughter who is ready to be done with her math book. So maybe if you're stuck at home, maybe you're trying to finish up your math book quickly too. So I'm going to be trying to get more lessons on here so that if that is your situation and you're just ready to be done with school, you're going to have the lessons out there. So I'm doing my best. So here we're talking about the metric system, and we do have some things that we have to learn. The 1 cubic meter is approximately 264 gallons. Now, a gallon is a big gallon size of milk that maybe your mama buys at the store. 264 of those makes 1 cubic meter. So a meter is about 3 inches longer than a yard. And so a cubic meter holds a lot of gallons. Remember, volume is how much something can hold. So a cubic meter can hold a lot of gallons, can't it? 264 approximately. 1 cubic centimeter is very small though. 1 cubic centimeter, it takes 16 of them to make 1 cubic inch. 1 cubic inch would be about that big, by about that big, by about that deep. And it takes 16 cubic centimeters to fill up that space. 1 liter is approximately 1.06 quarts. So your book is calling a liter a big quart because it's just a little bit more than a quart. And 1,000 cubic centimeters is 1 liter. Now, when you're thinking about a liter, very often we drink soda out of a 2-liter bottle, don't we? Okay, so a 2-liter bottle you're very familiar with. And 1 liter is a little bit more than a quart, and 1,000 cubic centimeters in 1 liter. So some more facts about our metric system is we have 1 milliliter. That's 1,000th of a liter is a cubic centimeter. Notice that centimeter cubed is a volume measure, and 1 milliliter is a volume measure. Liter all by itself is a volume measure. It is a cubic measure all by itself. So we don't have to use a liter cubed like we use a centimeter cubed. Centimeter is a linear measure. But when we have centimeter by centimeter by centimeter, then it's a cubic measure and it's a volume measure. Liter all by itself is a volume measure. So a milliliter is 1,000th of a liter, and it's equal to a cubic centimeter. And 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So we have some thinking to do. We're now getting used to liters and the relationship they have in volume. So now we're going to talk about how do we convert 1, I forgot a comma, 1,451,600 milliliters to a liter. So we need a conversion that's going from milliliters to liter. Now, what did we just write down here is we said 1 milliliter was 1 cubic centimeter, but look at what this one says. 1,000 milliliters is 1 liter. So we could write a conversion as 1,000 milliliters over 1 liter, or we could write 1 liter over 1,000 milliliters. They're both true, aren't they? Because 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So a conversion unit is basically just the same thing over itself with 2 different units of measure. So we're going to go from milliliters to liters. So that means that our conversion unit should have liters on the top. Always put on top the thing we're going to. So we're going to say 1,451,600. So that's 1,451,600 milliliters times. Now we're going to put liters on the top, and we're going to say 1 liter is the same as 1,000 milliliters, L-I-T-E-R-S, milliliters. Okay, so now notice what happens. Milliliters cancels milliliters, because milliliters on the top and milliliters on the bottom. And we're going to end up multiplying and getting liters. So liters will be our answer unit. And what's going to happen? We have this big number divided by 1,000, which is going to move the decimal 1, 2, 3 places to the left. Okay, so we're going to get, when we move this decimal 3 places to the left, we're going to get 1,451.6 liters. And that would be our answer. On this problem, this is example number 2, we're going to take 40 cubic meters and turn it into cubic centimeters. Now we know something about meters and centimeters. We know that every meter is 100 centimeters. So we're going to start with 40, and instead of cubic meters, I'm going to write meters cubed. Okay, or I could just put M, meters cubed, times, now I'm going to come up with my unit conversion there, and I want it to go to centimeters cubed. Okay, so we're going from meters to centimeters, so that means in my conversion, I'm going to have centimeters. What I'm going to is going to be on the top, and what I'm trying to cancel out is going to be on the bottom, meters. And I need to make this a true statement now. So 100 centimeters is 1 meter. Now that's true. So now when I multiply, guess what's going to happen? My meter and my meter is going to cancel, but oops, I have 3 of these, but I only have 1 of those. So I'm going to have to do this 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to make this one a little bit skinnier. And since this was just telling me what I'm going to erase him. And I'm going to put 100 centimeters per 1 meter times 100 centimeters per 1 meter. And now I'm ready to go. Now, meters cubed, that's meter times meter times meter, is going to cancel meter times meter times meter. And so now I have centimeter, centimeter, centimeter. So that gets me to my centimeter cubed. So centimeters cubed is my unit in my answer. So I have 40. That's gone because it canceled. And then 100 times 100 times 100. And I wrote that too far to the left, didn't I? So centimeters cubed, and that is my answer. But since they're just 100s, wouldn't that be easy to multiply together? Because when I have 0, 0, and 0, and 0, and 0, and 0, I'm just going to take 40 and add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros to it. So let's do that. 40 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, comma. 1, 2, 3, comma. Centimeters cubed. And now that answer looks more accurate. At least it's finished, isn't it? So what is that? This is thousands, millions, 40 million centimeters cubed. So there's that board. We have another example. Okay, so for our last example, we're going from 1,400 cubic meters to liters. Now, we have a rule about liters being 1,000 milliliters, okay? And we know that 1 cubic centimeter is a milliliter. So we're going to not go straight from meters to liters. We're going to go from meters to centimeters to liters. Okay, so here we're going from 1,400 cubic meters, which is meters cubed, and we're trying to get to liters. Remember, meters cubed is volume, and liters is volume. So we know how to get from centimeters to liters because, remember, where's my board? Okay, so a milliliter is 1,000th of a liter. So a cubic centimeter is a milliliter. So what if we multiply that and that by 1,000? Then when we get 1,000 cubic centimeters is equal to, so that one's 1,000 times that one, and 1,000. Wait, I wrote it the wrong direction, didn't I? That's confusing. So let's multiply 1,000. A milliliter is 1,000th. So if I multiply this side by 1,000, I get 1 liter. And if I multiply this side by 1,000, I get 1,000 centimeters cubed, which was on the very first board we had, but I already erased it. So that's the one we're going to use. So here we have meters cubed, but we want to go to centimeters cubed. So we're going to multiply by 3 conversions because it's cubic. So we know that meters is upstairs, but we want to get rid of meters because we want to go to liters. So we're going to put meter, 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 100 centimeters, 100 centimeters, 100 centimeters. Okay? And then that's an intermediate step. Our meters, 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 those will cancel. And I'm going to get centimeters cubed. So centimeters cubed. And I'm going to get 1,400. And then what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. Comma, comma, comma. 1,400,000,000 centimeters cubed is the same thing as 1,400 cubic meters. So now I've got to go from here to liters. But I know that since I'm going to liters, don't I want liters on the top? 1 liter is 1,000 centimeters cubed. Okay, so that's my conversion that I had right here at the top of the page. 1 liter is 1,000 centimeters cubed. Okay, so now the centimeters cubed and the centimeters cubed are going to cancel each other out. And I'm going to be left with dividing by 1,000, which is just going to what? Cancel 3 zeros and cancel 3 zeros. So I'm going to get 1,400,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 liters is my answer. 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma, 1,400,000 liters. And that is our last example. Okay, so here is your first practice problem. So copy it down and then pause your video. Use 3 unit multipliers to convert 500 cubic meters to milliliters. So we're going to start with 500 meters cubed, and we're going to milliliters. That's what our goal is. Now, we can get meters cubed to milliliters. Remember, a milliliter is a cubic centimeter. So, if we're going to milliliters, that's the same thing as cubic centimeters. We can exchange them because look, 1 milliliter equals 1 cubic centimeter. So when we're trying to get to milliliters, it's the same thing as getting to centimeters cubed. And meters to centimeters cubed is only going to take 3 unit multipliers because it's the same unit multiplier 3 times. And we're going to multiply, since we're trying to get to centimeters, we want centimeters on the top. We want meters on the bottom so that it will cancel. We have to make it true. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. And we just have this here to show us where we're going. I'm going to erase that because we have 3 things we have to write here. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. And 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So now, we're ready to do the math. Meters, meters, meters. Meters, meters, meters. That all cancels out, doesn't it? And we're left with cubic centimeters. So 500 times 100 times 100 times 100 centimeters cubed. But we've already decided that centimeters cubed is the same thing as milliliters. Okay, so now we have to write this out as one number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros tacked on to 500. So 500 and then add 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, comma. 1, 2, 3, comma. 500 million milliliters. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That was your first practice problem. Okay, so this is practice problem number 2, so copy it down and pause your video. See if you can figure it out by yourself before you watch the answer. Use 4 unit multipliers to convert 500 liters to cubic meters. So we're trying to end up with meters cubed, which is a volume measure, and we're starting with 500 liters. Okay, so we already know something about liters and cubic centimeters. So if we go 500 liters, we're going to multiply. We want liters on the bottom, and we want centimeters cubed on the top. And what do we know? What is our conversion? 1 milliliter is 1 cubic centimeter. So 1,000 cubic centimeters is 1 liter. So right here, we're going to say 1,000 cubic centimeters is 1 liter. So now we're going to multiply that one. And that takes care of the liters. And now we're having cubic centimeters, and we're just trying to go to meters. So we're going to use what? 3 conversions. See, that one was the 4th one, wasn't it? or the first one. So now we're just going from centimeters to meters. So we're going to have centimeters on the bottom to cancel, and meters on the top because we want to end up with cubic meters. And then we have to make it true. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. 100 centimeters is 1 meter. And that's all the work. So now all we have to do is come up with the answer. So liters canceled liter. And then we have centimeter, 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 because there's cubed. Centimeter, 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 centimeter. All of those cancel out. And now I'm left with meter, meter, meter. Meter times meter times meter is meter cubed, and that gives me what I want. So my answer is in metric meters cubed. Okay, so that's all gone. So now what do I have to write down? 1,000 times 500 divided by 100 times 100 times 100. So let's put the math over here. 500 times 1,000. And then on the bottom, 100 times 100 times 100. Well, we got a lot of zeros that are going to be canceled out here, don't we? Does everybody see that? Okay, so now let's just start canceling zeros. We got a 0 and a 0 and a 0 and a 0 on the top, a 0 and a 0 on the bottom, and a 0 and a 0. And then we've got one more 0 we can cancel. And we end up with a 5 over a 10, or 1/2 cubic meter. 1/2 cubic meter. Okay, so that is your second practice. Okay, so now we're going to do the last practice. These are kind of fun, aren't they? The very last problem. Yep, very last problem. This is your last practice, so copy it down and pause your video. So we're going to start with 5 million cubic centimeters. So I need one more. 1, 2, 3, 5 million centimeters cubed, and we're going to milliliters. Okay, so remember the conversion to milliliters. Look at the board. 1 milliliter is 1 centimeter cubed, and 1,000 centimeters cubed is 1 liter. Okay, so we're trying to get to a milliliter, and so isn't a centimeter cubed the same thing as a milliliter? Look at the top. Do we have to do much there? 1 milliliter is 1 centimeter cubed. Centimeter cubed, 1 centimeter cubed is 1 milliliter. It's a 1-for-1 conversion, isn't it? So all we're going to do is multiply by 1 milliliter over 1 centimeter cubed, because they're the same. My centimeter cubed is going to cancel, and I wind up with 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5 million milliliters. And that was pretty simple. We are done with our lesson on metric volume. And this is Mrs. A, and may God bless your day.